Whether it's candy, candles, or cookie dough, school fundraisers have become a regular part of the education landscape. Sue Lincoln with our Southern Ed Desk finds out how much is being generated and where all of that money is going.
School fundraisers have become big business. Box Tops for Education says it's sent out over $56 million to schools last year alone. Campbell's Labels for Education says it's given out more than $114 million worth of educational equipment. But how much are local schools earning with their fundraisers? And what are they doing with the money?
It's amazing some of the things that I consider necessities to an education that are purchased with fundraiser money.
Mark Becknell is president of Louisiana Fundraisers, Inc., a regional distributor for World's Finest Chocolates. Becknell says he's seen the business in Louisiana and Mississippi change over the last few years as the economy has put the squeeze on school budgets, making fundraisers a necessity rather than lagniappe, that little something extra.
The actual sales have increased. There's more sales, there's a greater need of those sales, but the participation by the students has decreased as parents tighten their belts during tough economic times.
Matt Siraj, CEO of Community Coffee, says their Cash for Schools program is being utilized by schools in states all across the South.
Our Cash for School program exists beyond Louisiana's borders, so states all across from Texas through Georgia. We have participating schools as far north as Tennessee and down in Florida.
Siraj says Community's Cash for Schools program issued checks to 917 schools this year, totaling more than $340,000.
We find each year we have more and more demand and that our budget for the program has continued to increase.
The Community Coffee program has schools collect UPC codes from the company's products and turn them in for cash. Siraj says this year, each UPC code was worth a dime.
And our top earning schools received over $3,000, so it's a lot of 10-cent barcodes to collect.
Not every school gets that much.
Schools that are smaller, anywhere from $200 to $600 is common. Every dollar counts, so $200 makes a big difference in a classroom.
That's what could be termed passive fundraising. The big bucks are in more aggressive fundraisers, like selling candy bars.
In general, it ranges from anywhere from probably $3,000 on the low end to some schools can generate $40,000 and $50,000. But an average, I would say the average school in our area probably generates about $6,000 or $7,000 a year off of fundraising.
How are schools using the money? Becknell says each state or local school district imposes its own rules, but in general,
it has to go into instructional directly to the children. They're not allowed to fund their faculty accounts or to do anything that doesn't directly benefit the children.
Siraj says he hears back from schools every year, and most often the money is used in classrooms for things such as art supplies and decorations for bulletin boards. One school's project stands out, a butterfly garden.
I delivered the check for $180, and they said that was kind of their average each and every year. But over 5 years, they invested that money to make this beautiful garden. Very small. We had elementary schools engaged in nature in an area of Baton Rouge that didn't have a lot of green space, but this garden was theirs, and they actually tended it all year round.
Becknell says one of his schools bought all new playground equipment. I spoke with some administrators at a thank you event put on by Louisiana fundraisers. None of them wanted to go on camera, but they told me money raised goes for things like copier paper and ink for classroom handouts, and even Band-Aids and ice for kids' playground boo-boos. Siraj has another take on school fundraising.
And as part of the process of raising a child is to teach them about serving others and participating in their work environment and their learning environment.
And according to a national survey commissioned by the Association of Fundraising Distributors and Suppliers, 8 out of 10 parents of school-aged children supported school fundraising efforts last year. For the Southern Education Desk, I'm Sue Lincoln.
Now, that same national survey conducted last year showed that the #1 reason why many people supported school fundraisers was because they felt it was for a worthy cause. The top reason for not supporting a school fundraiser was because they weren't asked.
The Southern Education Desk is a partnership among public radio and television stations across the Gulf South. We delve into a wide range of educational issues from kindergarten through 12th grade and higher education. For more information, we ask you to please log on to southerneddesk.org.